Welcome to the FireSquid Capital Funding Edge, where we discuss alternative lending strategies to help get you funded quickly. Imagine you're like ready to kind of level up your business, but like traditional funding just isn't doing it for you. Well, today we're doing a deep dive on the Navy Federal line of credit. It's been helping businesses just like yours unlock some serious growth. Yeah, we've got some really interesting case studies lined up. A bookstore that's bursting at the seams, a plumbing company that's just battling like cash flow chaos, a bakery with dreams that are bigger than its budget, and an auto repair shop that's stuck in a time warp. To get more information about FireSquid Capital and its lending products, visit firesquidcapital.com. Let's start with a scenario that's probably way too familiar, the dreaded cash flow crunch. Okay, so think of David from Precision Plumbing. He's got a major client and they suddenly delay a payment. Throws his entire budget off. Bills are piling up. He can't buy essential supplies. He's even having to turn down new jobs. Talk about stressful.
Oh, yeah, it's a classic small business nightmare, and it really highlights the need for a financial safety net. What's really interesting about the Navy Federal line of credit is that it acts as a buffer against these short-term cash flow gaps. See, instead of being locked into fixed monthly payments like a traditional loan, you only pay interest on what you actually use. It's like having a reserve of funds you can tap into when you need to without accruing interest.
So it's all about having that financial flexibility to weather those inevitable storms that like every business faces.
Precisely. And the impact is measurable. Studies have shown that businesses using a line of credit for cash flow management see a 15% increase in operational efficiency during slow periods. And this boost comes from a bunch of factors. For one, with consistent cash flow, businesses can avoid reducing staff. They can maintain those supplier relationships and even negotiate better prices because they're paying on time. It's about staying afloat and staying agile even when things are rough.
That's a huge advantage, especially in today's crazy economy.
Yeah.
But it's not just about surviving, is it? It's also about seizing those game-changing opportunities as they come up. Which brings us to Maria from Sweet Surrender Bakery. She had to say no to a huge catering opportunity, and only because she didn't have the money to buy the equipment she needed. What a missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking, isn't it? And it really highlights the power of having access to funds when you need them most. I mean, think of the Navy Federal line of credit as like your secret weapon
Yeah.
for capturing those fleeting opportunities. When that perfect deal comes around, you're ready to go. You don't have to jump through all those hoops for traditional financing.
So it's about being ready to, make things happen instead of just watching them pass you by.
Absolutely. And the data backs it up. Businesses using a line of credit for growth see a 20% higher success rate in new ventures and market expansion. It's the difference between, just sitting back and watching and actually getting in there and writing your own success story.
I like that, taking control and writing your own narrative. But let's be real. Sometimes those traditional loans can feel like a ball and chain, especially when your revenue is all over the place. Think about James from Green Thumb Landscaping. He took out a fixed loan for a new truck, and right before his business hit a slump because of the weather. Now those fixed payments are a real burden.
That's where the flexibility of the Navy Federal line of credit really shines. Remember, you only pay interest on what you use, so if you hit a slow period and don't need to tap into the line of credit, you're not racking up those interest charges. It gives you some space to breathe and adapt, without that pressure of those fixed monthly payments.
Like hitting the pause button on loan payments when you need it most.
Exactly. And that translates to real peace of mind. Research shows that businesses with a line of credit experience 10% less financial stress. That's huge. Business owners can just focus on what they're good at, running their business, without being constantly bogged down by money worries.
That makes a lot of sense, freeing up mental bandwidth to focus on the bigger picture. But we've talked about getting through tough times and grabbing opportunities. What about actually, transforming your business?
Mark from Artisan Auto, his story really got to me. His shop was stuck, outdated equipment, cramped space, barely keeping up with everyone else. It was like he hit a ceiling and just couldn't break through.
And that's where using the Navy Federal line of credit strategically can really change everything.
Mm.
Muck didn't just use it for a quick fix. He used it to completely reshape his business. He put money into state-of-the-art equipment, made his workspace bigger so he could fit more cars. He even hired more technicians to handle all the extra work. It's like he used the line of credit to launch a full-on business makeover.
Those are some bold moves. He didn't just test the waters, he jumped right in and built the business of his dreams. He did. And the results were incredible. Mark's smart investments, all powered by the line of credit, triggered this chain reaction of good stuff. He saw a 30% increase in repeat customer service times, went down by 20%. and his revenue shot up by 40% within a year. He went from barely staying afloat to riding a wave of success.
To get more information about FireSquid Capital and its lending products, visit firesquidcapital.com. Wow, talk about a comeback. It's almost like he unlocked this hidden potential in his business.
That's a great way to put it. The Navy Federal line of credit isn't just about getting money, it's about unlocking possibilities and achieving things that you might have thought were impossible.
So it's not just a financial tool, it's like a catalyst for growth and change.
Exactly. It gives business owners the power to break free from limitations and build a brighter future for themselves and their businesses. Welcome back to FireSquid Capital Funding Edge. So in part one, we talked about the Navy Federal line of credit as a possible answer to some common small business problems. Now let's shift gears a little and focus on understanding how to use this financial tool strategically.
Sounds good. We touched on how it can help with things like managing inventory marketing campaigns and even expanding into new areas. But what are some other creative ways businesses can use a line of credit to grow?
You know, one area that often gets overlooked is employee development. Investing in your team's skills and knowledge can really pay off. Like, say you're running a construction company and you want to give your crew some specialized training in sustainable building practices. A line of credit could cover the cost of those courses. And that would actually make your company more valuable and attract clients who are into being eco-friendly.
That's a great point. It's not always about physical stuff. It's also about investing in the people who make your business run.
Exactly. And think about research and development. Let's say you own a food company and you have this amazing idea for a new product. Well, developing and launching a new product takes a lot of money up front. A line of credit can give you the resources to make that innovation a reality and potentially open up whole new markets and revenue streams.
It's like you're powering innovation, taking those great ideas and making them real.
Exactly. And we can't forget about technology upgrades. I mean, in today's digital world, you got to keep up with technology to stay competitive. Whether it's upgrading your POS system, implementing a CRM platform, or investing in cybersecurity, all those tech improvements can make things run smoother, improve customer experience, and boost your profits. A line of credit can help you make those strategic technology investments without draining your working capital.
So it's about giving your business the right digital tools to succeed in today's crazy, fast-paced world. But it's not just about internal improvements. It's also about strategic acquisitions. Like, imagine you own a local bookstore. You have a chance to buy out a smaller competitor across town. This could really expand your reach, grow your customer base, and give you access to new inventory and resources. A line of credit could be the financial push you need to make that acquisition happen, and that could put you in a position for major growth and even market dominance.
That's a great point. And it shows how a line of credit can be used not just for small improvements, but for those big leaps forward. It's about thinking big and setting your business up for success in the long run.
I like that. But let's change gears a little. We've been talking a lot about how to use a line of credit strategically. But what about the financial side of things? How does a line of credit affect a business's credit score and overall financial health?
That's a really important question, and it's important to look at it from both sides. Just like any kind of credit, using a line of credit responsibly can actually make your business's credit score better. When you make your payments on time, it shows that you're responsible and trustworthy. And that can improve your creditworthiness, which means you'll have an easier time getting good financing terms in the future.
So it's not just about getting the money, it's also about building a good credit history.
Right. A strong credit score can open up so many doors. You might get lower interest rates, and ultimately, it can make your business more financially stable and ready for growth.
That makes sense. But what about the potential downsides? Are there any risks involved with using a line of credit that business owners should know about?
Well, just like with any financial tool, there are some risks if you don't use a line of credit responsibly. One common trap is overspending. I mean, when you have access to a bunch of money, it can be tempting to spend more than you should. But it's crucial to remember a line of credit isn't free money. You have to pay it back with interest. If you overspend, you can get stuck in a cycle of debt that's hard to escape.
So it's all about staying disciplined and only using the line of credit for smart investments that'll bring in more money.
Yeah. It's about treating those funds like you would your own savings. Another possible risk is ending up with high interest charges. Interest rates on lines of credit can change depending on things like your credit score, how much you borrow, and the lender's terms. It's important to really compare interest rates from different lenders and go with a line of credit that has terms that match your business goals and what you can afford.
So it sounds like you really need to shop around and do your research before you commit to a specific line of credit.
For sure. Spending some time to research different lenders and compare what they offer can save you money in the long run. And make sure you're getting the best possible deal for your business. It's also worth mentioning that some lines of credit have fees like annual fees, origination fees, or late payment fees. These fees can add up, so be sure to include them when you're comparing different options.
It's all about reading the fine print and making sure you know what you're getting into financially before you sign anything.
Exactly. Being informed and thinking ahead can help you avoid nasty surprises and ensure that you're using the line of credit to help your business financially.
Those are great points. Now let's talk about some ways to manage a line of credit effectively. What are some of the best practices business owners can use to make sure they're using this tool responsibly and getting the most out of it?
One important strategy is to think of your line of credit as a business expense, not like your personal piggy bank. Only use it for real business needs that fit with your overall financial goals. Before you use a line of credit, ask yourself a few questions. Is this expense really necessary for my business to grow or operate? Will it make me more money? Can I afford to pay it back in a reasonable amount of time? If you answer no to any of these questions, it's probably best not to use the line of credit for that particular thing.
So it's about keeping business and personal finances separate
Yeah.
and using the line of credit strategically, not on impulse.
Right. Another crucial strategy is to keep track of your spending very carefully. Just because you have access to a lot of money doesn't mean you should spend it all at once. Keep an eye on your balance, how much interest you're accruing, and make sure you're not overspending. Maybe set spending limits for different categories, or create a system for tracking and approving any spending from the line of credit.
So it's about staying organized, disciplined, and accountable for every dollar you borrow.
Exactly. And remember, just because you have a certain credit limit doesn't mean you have to use it all. Only borrow what you actually need when you need it. Don't be tempted to max out your line of credit unless you absolutely have to.
It's about being smart with your money and only using the line of credit when it makes strategic sense for your business.
Exactly. Another important strategy is to make your payments on time. Just like with any other type of credit, late payments can hurt your credit score. They can make your interest charges go up and could even lead to default. Set up reminders, automate your payments, or do whatever works for you. Just make sure you never miss a payment.
So it's about being proactive and making those payments a priority to keep your credit score strong and avoid extra costs.
Exactly. And lastly, don't be afraid to talk to your lender if you have any problems or questions about your line of credit. They're there to help you understand the process, give you advice, and work with you to find solutions if you hit a snag.
It's about using those resources and thinking of your lender as a partner in helping your business succeed. Well, we've covered a lot in this part of our deep dive. We've looked at different ways to use a line of credit strategically, how it affects the business's finances, the potential risks you should know about, and some best practices for managing it effectively. I feel like we've really gained a solid understanding of this financial tool and how it can help businesses grow.
I agree. It's been a great discussion, and I hope our listeners are finding this information helpful.
Welcome back to Fire Squid Capital Funding Edge. In this final part of our deep dive, we're going to kind of shift gears, from theory to like the real world. We've talked about like all the nuts and bolts of the Navy Federal line of credit, its flexibility, its growth potential, and how important it is to use it responsibly. But now it's time to like actually see how this thing works in action.
Yeah, I'm excited to share some stories that'll really show you the impact this tool can have. We've seen how using the Navy Federal line of credit strategically has helped businesses across different industries overcome obstacles, grab opportunities, and get amazing results.
Let's start with a story that really highlights how a line of credit can help you get through those unexpected tough times. Remember Sarah, the owner of that cute little bookstore we mentioned earlier, the Book Nook? Well, she had a major problem when a pipe burst in her store and caused a ton of water damage. Repairs were going to be expensive, and her insurance wouldn't cover everything.
Oh man, that was rough for Sarah, especially since her business was already running on a tight budget. A traditional loan would have meant those fixed monthly payments, adding even more financial stress during an already tough time. But with the Navy Federal line of credit, Sarah could get the money she needed to fix things quickly, get her store back open, and minimize the disruption to her business. She only had to pay interest on the money she actually used, and as her business recovered, she could gradually pay back the line of credit without feeling crushed by debt.
So it was like a financial safety net that kept her business afloat during a crisis.
Exactly. The line of credit gave her the flexibility and breathing room she needed to focus on getting back on track without being tied down by strict repayment terms.
That's a perfect example of how a line of credit can be a lifesaver
Mm.
for small businesses dealing with the unexpected. Now let's switch gears and look at a story about how a line of credit can help a business grow. You remember Maria from Sweet Surrender Bakery, right? She had to say no to that big catering opportunity because she didn't have the money for the equipment. Well, she decided to take a chance and apply for a Navy Federal line of credit.
And it changed everything for her business. With the line of credit, Maria bought a new commercial oven, a bigger mixer, and a refrigerated delivery van. She was finally set up to handle those big catering orders, and her business just took off. Within a year, she doubled her revenue, hired more people, and even opened a second bakery across town.
It's amazing how the right financial tools can unlock so much potential. It's not just about getting money, it's about making those dreams a reality.
Absolutely. Maria's story is proof that strategic investment can have a huge ripple effect. Using the line of credit to expand her capacity and take that catering opportunity set off this chain reaction that led to incredible growth and success.
It's inspiring to see how a seemingly small decision can have such a huge impact. Now, how about Mark from Artisan Auto? His story really shows how a line of credit can not just grow a business, but completely change it. Remember, he was stuck in that cramped, outdated shop, just barely keeping up with the competition. He decided to use a Navy Federal line of credit to make some big changes.
And those changes totally transformed his business. Mark invested in top-of-the-line diagnostic equipment, expanded his workspace so he could fit more cars, and brought in more technicians to handle all the extra work. It's like he took his shop from outdated to cutting edge.
He didn't just upgrade his equipment, he upgraded his whole business.
Exactly. And the results are obvious. Mark's customer base grew, his service times went down, and his profits went way up. He went from barely staying afloat to being one of the best in the business.
It just shows you that sometimes you need to shake things up, step out of your comfort zone, and embrace change and innovation. And the right financial tools can help you make those bold moves.
Absolutely. Mark's story is a testament to the power of vision, courage, and smart investment. He saw that his business could be something more, and he used the line of credit to make that vision a reality.
These stories are so inspiring. They really show the many different ways the Navy Federal line of credit can help you achieve great things. But besides these specific examples, what are some bigger trends you're seeing in how businesses are using this financial tool?
Well, one really exciting trend is the focus on sustainability. More and more businesses are using lines of credit to invest in eco-friendly practices, renewable energy sources, and sustainable products and services. They're realizing that sustainability isn't just good for the planet, it's good for business too. Consumers are looking for businesses that share their values, and being committed to sustainability can really set you apart from the competition.
So it's about making your financial strategies match your environmental and social responsibility. That's a win for everyone.
Exactly. Another trend we're seeing is the growth of the experience economy. Businesses are using lines of credit to create immersive and memorable customer experiences. Whether it's investing in unique retail spaces, offering personalized services, or creating interactive events. They're understanding that in today's digital world where everyone's got so many choices, it's the experiences that really connect with people and build loyalty to a brand.
It's about going beyond just buying and selling and creating real relationships with customers.
Exactly. And a line of credit can give you the financial flexibility to bring those creative, experience-driven ideas to life.
These trends are so exciting. It's inspiring to see businesses using this financial tool, not just to make more money, but to make a positive impact on the world.
I agree. It's about using finance as a force for good, for innovation, and for creating a better future.
To get more information about FireSquid Capital and its lending products, visit firesquidcapital.com. Well, we've reached the end of our deep dive into the Navy Federal line of credit. We've explored its features, benefits, potential risks, and most importantly, its ability to transform businesses and turn dreams into reality.
It's been a great journey. I hope our listeners now have a better grasp of this versatile financial tool and all the possibilities it offers.
I totally agree. We've seen how it can be a safety net during tough times, a springboard for growth, and a catalyst for innovation. The key is to use it strategically, responsibly, and with a clear vision for your business's future.
Well said. And remember, this isn't the end of the journey. We encourage everyone listening to keep learning, exploring, and finding the resources and support they need to make their entrepreneurial dreams come true.
That's a great point. There are so many possibilities out there, and the right financial tools can help you unlock them. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive. Until next time, keep dreaming big, keep innovating, and keep pushing the limits of what's possible.